does happen.
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee you that, because most people looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a...
Canelo, what did you think about the shove, that moment that happened on stage?
Now, I'm turning on right now.
Right? Yeah. Did it make you want to go harder for the 13?
I don't know, but made me feel more excited.
I love it.
I'm gonna train so far.
Roy Jones Jr., after training with Terence Crawford, didn't hold back. He said straight up that Canelo's going to sleep. And this isn't coming from some casual observer. It's the opinion of one of boxing's most brilliant tacticians. Roy watched Crawford spar, move, adapt, and throw punches with speed and power, even after putting on extra weight. What impressed him wasn't just Crawford's raw ability, it was how sharp and dangerous he still looked, despite bulking up. Roy, who knows exactly what it takes to jump weight classes and dominate, believes Crawford has all the tools to knock Canelo out. He's seen it all. But what he saw in Crawford was different, and that kind of confidence from someone like Roy isn't just hype. If he's right, this fight won't just be a loss for Canelo. It could be a brutal wake-up call.
On the streets, you and Canelo, what would it look like?
I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it. On the streets, I'm going to be against anybody. I ain't never going to say another man going to whoop me. So, that's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we're not talking about the streets. We're talking about...
This tone from Roy Jones adds even more fuel to a fight already being talked about as one of the biggest moments of the decade. Crawford isn't easing into the spotlight. He's charging into it, full force, and bringing serious heat. That became crystal clear when Canelo Alvarez reportedly asked for a smaller ring, a move that looked like a tactical attempt to trap Crawford, cut off his angles, and force him into a slugfest. Canelo knows Crawford's not the type to stand still and trade with a heavier man. He's slick, smart, and dangerous at range. But instead of staying quiet or playing it cool, Crawford didn't hold back. He took it personally, lit the fuse, and fired right back, making it clear he's not just showing up to box. He's showing up to make a statement.
I go back and forwards, to be honest with you. Like, when I talk to Bud, I kind of he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convincing. And then you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back.
The only running I'll be doing, Crawford said at a recent press conference, is running upside his head, and he's got a big head too. It was a slick one-liner, more funny than furious, but it hit with purpose. Crawford wasn't dodging the talk of aggression. He leaned right into it and flipped the whole narrative. Instead of dismissing the idea of a smaller ring, he embraced it. No excuses, no backing down. He made it crystal clear. I'm hunting him, he said. I'm hunting everything that he's got, and I'm going to take it. Come September 13th. That wasn't just trash talk, it was a warning.
The era that surpassed that, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and the Kovalevs and Triple G's, and I wasn't able to get those mega fights, so this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight.
These aren't just bold words, they're calculated shots from a man who's never tasted defeat. Crawford's record is airtight, 41 wins, 31 by knockout, and titles in 4 weight classes. Most recently, he added a super welterweight belt to his collection by outclassing Israel Madramov in a dominant unanimous decision. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement that he's still evolving and stacking legacy. Now, he's not just moving up, he's jumping to full divisions to take aim at the undisputed king in a 5th. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez is coming off one of the most lackluster performances of his career. His unanimous decision win over William Skull barely moved the needle. It was flat, uninspired, and raised more questions than answers.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I am not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you...
Over 12 rounds, Canelo and Skull combined for just 445 punches, a record low for a major title fight. It wasn't just uneventful, it was the kind of showing that sparks real concerns. Not about Canelo's legacy, that's already stacked. with big names and highlight reel wins, but about where he stands right now. He didn't look like the fierce counterpuncher who used to cut off the ring and break opponents down with smart pressure. Against Skull, he looked flat, cautious, and strangely passive, more like a fighter trying to avoid damage than one trying to cause it.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah.
That's a dangerous version of Canelo to bring into a fight with someone like Crawford, a fighter who feeds off hesitation. Bud thrives when opponents slow down or stay in place. His style is reactive, surgical, and downright venomous when triggered. If Canelo is even half a step behind or hesitant to let his hands go, Crawford won't just capitalize, he'll take over. But at this point, it's not just about styles anymore. The tension is real, and it's been boiling over with every press event. In New York, things exploded when Crawford stepped toward Canelo on stage, and Canelo shoved him hard, forcing both entourages to jump in as security scrambled to break it up. This wasn't staged or scripted. It was raw, emotional, and real. Two champions with clashing personalities, pride on the line, and legacies decades in the making, all colliding in one fight.
It's cool. Well,
is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another
there is a champions,
September.
good fighters, but elite fighters is different.
So,
wait.
So I'm going to fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah, okay.
Then
we want to find out.
We're going to find out.
And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter, but are you gonna find out? I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money because it's gonna be the last. That's for sure.
It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But you know, after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never.
Both men have conquered 4 weight divisions. Both have reached the pinnacle as undisputed champions. But on September 13th in Las Vegas, they're fighting for far more than just another belt. For Crawford, this is about immortality, a chance to erase every lingering doubt, silence every critic, and etch his name above even the most legendary welterweights and lightweights in boxing history. For Canelo, with his 2nd of February 63 record and 39 knockouts, it's about proving he's still the king, not a fading icon. He's looking to shut down the growing noise that says his best days are behind him.
Happened in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't.
Bernard Hopkins, a legend in his own right and someone who's worked closely with Canelo during the Golden Boy era, wasn't sold on the idea at first. In fact, he called it outright reckless. "That's ridiculous," he said. "That's why we have weight classes." Hopkins didn't just doubt Crawford's chances, he questioned his entire motivation for taking the fight, even warning that it could be physically dangerous for him. At the time, it sounded less like criticism and more like concern from a seasoned veteran who's seen what happens when fighters take leaps too big.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before it gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just...
But now, Hopkins has completely flipped his stance. In a recent interview, he said Crawford has a legitimate shot, putting his chances at a bold 85%. That's not cautious optimism. That's near certainty. He's not going in there to prove something, Hopkins said. He's going in there to show that Canelo's time has come and gone. And coming from someone as measured and skeptical as Hopkins, that shift speaks volumes. He's not the type to get caught up in hype. He studies the technicals, the details. If Crawford comes out sharp, sets the pace early, and controls the rhythm, Hopkins believes that alone could unravel Canelo, a fighter who's used to dictating the tempo. And if that happens, it's not just a problem for Canelo. It's a serious threat to his throne.
He hopes you don't run. And Turki has a knockout bonus in this fight. And there seems to be something out there like the way for you to win this fight is to move. Is that true?
Listen.
Turkey, you need to put a small ring, the smaller ring in
The only.
And then there's the extra incentive, a knockout bonus. His Excellency Torki Elaushik, one of the major power players behind this mega event, confirmed that a substantial reward awaits anyone who scores a KO. He didn't name the figure, but made one thing crystal clear. This fight needs a finish. Not just for legacy, not just for belts, but for spectacle. This isn't just a boxing match, it's part of a much bigger shift as the sport moves deeper into the entertainment spotlight with Saudi influence, cross-promotional muscle, and production levels rivaling UFC cards. Boxing is entering a new era. And to mark that moment, Turkey also revealed that the winner will receive the most expensive Ring magazine belt ever made, crafted by a British company known for creating custom pieces for royalty and military elites. We're talking fine gold, elite craftsmanship, and a one-of-a-kind symbol of supremacy. This isn't just a prize, it's a crown for the king of this era.
It would be a disappointment if this did normal boxing numbers, you know, and let's be real, you know what Jake Paul is gonna say. He already shitted on this fight. Don't let the numbers not come anywhere close to his numbers with Tyson, and it's gonna be all bad. Would it even matter if Bud and Canelo didn't do the numbers of Jake and Tyson? Or is that an indictment on the sport that, it's just showing what our fan base prefers?
And to rule this era, Canelo will have to stop a fighter who's not just moving up in weight, but bringing with him speed, timing, elite ring IQ, and a kind of unshakable confidence that's hard to quantify. Crawford isn't stepping up. To roll the dice, he's stepping up because he believes this throne is already his. That belief isn't just fueled by fans or media hype, it's backed by legends like Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins. Voices with generational weight. Crawford also knows the crowd won't be on his side. Canelo remains a massive favorite, especially under the bright lights of Las Vegas. But Bud's unbothered. In fact, he's embracing the hate. "I want all the people in the stands that boo me," he said. "They're going to cry when they go home."
You need to put a small ring, the smaller ring in the.
The only. Hey, Matt. Yeah. The only running that I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts. And he got a big head too.